Hi, I'm Eric,
And I'm Haley.
and today we're going to be telling you all about this wonderful piece of history known as the Devonshire Road Bank Building.
The Devonshire Road Bank Building was built to support Walkerville's financial needs and is a perfect representation of the town's economic prosperity in the 1920s.
So, at the time when it was built right in the heart of Walkerville, and the bank was a choice of many for Walkerville's locals.
The bank had been a landmark since its completion, and with its fellow surrounding heritage buildings like the Walkerville Town Hall and the Walkerville Post Office, it has cemented itself an important piece of Walkerville history.
So we're just gonna talk a little bit about the architect who was the main lead on the project of it being built. His name was David J. Cameron. Right over there is a picture of him. So he was really well known in the 1920s because he he basically had a hand in a lot of buildings that were built at the time. Aside from the bank building, he was also responsible for churches in the area, residents, commercial buildings all throughout Walkerville and some in Windsor too. And anyone who appreciated architecture in the 1920s knew who he was, and they thought of him as a local hero.
So, to start off our interpretation program, we recognize the fact that the building is a shadow of its former self. It's a victim of vandalism and poor upkeep. So, we figured if we got a group of volunteers together in the community that are passionate about the building and Walkerville's cultural history, we could have them make patrols around the building to deter any potential vandals from further damaging the building, as well as clean up the current vandalism.
So there's a plaque on the side of the building that states that the building is a cultural heritage site, but it's very small and it doesn't give a good explanation on the bank's history or why it's so important to Walkerville. So what we believe the building deserves is a larger plaque that is more easy to read, and describes the building's history, why it's so important, because right now it's just very vague and a lot of people walk past it, and a lot of Walkerville's locals today don't even know that it's a cultural heritage site.
And it's actually hard to even have a proper visit, even if you did decide to go. Due to the three businesses operating inside from the new owners, it's no longer a bank. So we thought it would be a great idea to make it more accessible to the community. We could ask the current owners and approach them with the proposal to opening the bank.
Like I said earlier, David J. Cameron was a kind of a local hero in Windsor and Walkerville's architecture community. He had a big hand in a lot of the town's landmarks. So the thing is, though, today he's not very well known. When we first started this project, I had no idea who he was, and I think that's kind of a shame. So we would like to kind of bring his name back into the modern day locals' minds and make them give him the respect that he deserves, basically.
So in efforts to make that happen, we decided that it would be a good idea for us to put posters up with his face on it and just a brief description of who he is and all that he's done for the community. And not only do we plan to do that with posters of David, but the bank as well. In the same sort of style, so that we could bring in more youthful visitors that might be interested in learning about their local culture, but didn't know that these buildings and people were so important to the building of Windsor. So I think by putting these posters up in all of the college's campuses, as well as Walkerville in downtown, we have more of an opportunity to engage a younger crowd in learning about their cultural history.
So this bank is gorgeous. It's beautiful. It deserves a lot more respect than what it currently has. It's with these steps that we have laid out, we hope that we can restore this bank to its former glory, and
hopefully attract a younger crowd in order to get more appreciation out of this bow art style building. Thank you for listening about the Devonshire Road Bank building, and we hope you visit in the near future.